After the hustle and bustle of New York City, it was time for a change of pace. Pennsylvania offered trees, mountains, and just a dearth of people. It was kind of great. The Pajama Factory is what it sounds like, a former pajama factory in the town of Williamsport, Pennsylvania, home of the Little League World Series. They've set up a number of artist lofts and other businesses in the area, and it's just really neat. There's even a community darkroom, which I, for some dumb reason, didn't get on camera, but it's really neat, and I highly suggest to check it out. I'll put a link in the description. They've left a lot of that great, gritty industrial flavor to it. It reminds me of New York City warehouses you see in photos from the 80s and 70s. I'm thinking of Francesca Woodman, especially. They have all kinds of neat old things, and they've left the outside fairly rustic as well, which is perfect for photos. Of note, you need to get a photo pass and permission to photograph here. It cost me $50, I believe. I was working with my good friend Dana, who I worked with last year just before I started this vlog, and her friend Maddie. It was fun shooting with them. I shot these with just window light. It was early in the day, and so it's pretty strongly backlit, but I like how it worked, especially with the glass kind of so dirty it's frosted. Just made them giant soft boxes, and we didn't need to do much else at all. I'm always a big fan of hats, big hats especially. Then Dana and I went to some woods around her house.
There we go.
It's really just all state parks around this area of Pennsylvania, and it's really, really beautiful. So if you're looking for kind of an increasingly buried treasure, check out the rural Pennsylvania area, especially in the Eagles Mirror and Forksville areas. Now I shot some more here with my trashed, kind of beat up Olympus film point-and-shoot camera. I'm almost finished with the roll, and I'll have it developed and shared in my next DSLR scan video, which is coming in a couple weeks. I find this scene fascinating because you can see the movement of light and water over a short period of time. Also, the rocky terrain was not the easiest thing to walk over, but it was just a really great place to shoot, even with the not prime lighting. Still, I like playing with strong light, bad lighting, quote unquote. Actually, Stephen Shore dug that too, but that's another video. Actually, just upstream a little bit was this little spot here. We did a quick change and had some fun in the water. I wanted something a little different for these, so I actually switched my white balance to tungsten, which gave it an almost night appearance, which is nice because, like I said, this is not the greatest time of day to shoot. But the dappled lighting made it interesting, and as long as I stayed where the background wasn't too apparent, it was very sunny and uninterrupted by shade. But as long as I kept that as a distant glow, it worked pretty well as a night scene. Here you'll see the wonder that the white balance trick worked in this kind of dappled, kind of meh lighting. It actually turned out pretty soft, and the hot spots still looked kind of moonlight-like to me. And moonlight is just sunlight reflected, so that's why they used to like underexpose or filter on movies to make night scenes, and I guess they still do that in a way, probably digitally, but yeah. This is yet another advantage of having a mirrorless camera and live view, and just the good live view that you get with mirrorless cameras, and also articulating screens.
I'm going to switch filters really quick.
That it should just be too much of a pain to take this kind of shot without that and with a traditional viewfinder. I'd like to thank my patrons in not proper order, I'm sure: Ronnie Pittman, Stephanie K. Smith, Rachel Singletary, May, and Sarah. If you'd like to join them, check out the website. There's a link in the description. Thank you. Also, please support me on Patreon. That's patreon.com/JamieMPhoto. Thank you. Bonus, this is one of the longest covered bridges in the country, or something like that. or possibly the longest one. Anyway, it's cool stuff. I filmed this for my mom. We did one last session, which was a lot of fun. We got this bedroom shot right here with this cool sloped ceiling and just great color combination. And Dana is just a wonderful model. She's a huge fan of Peaky Blinders, and she really wanted to do a shoot inspired by it. So we set up this thing in her office space. We took a fold-out table, covered it with a neutral kind of non-obvious cloth to make it look inconspicuous and also non-reflective. So that light that you see on the left has the same power as this light on the right. There's a little curly Q continuous lights, and they're both in those octaboxes for diffusion. And they're actually pretty useful at this distance. So the one on the left is further away for fill, so the farther back it is, the more it falls off. The one on the right is closer and therefore stronger, making it the key light. It was just a very simple setup. The gray cloth, as I mentioned, also prevented bounce from that. And the reason that the fill light is turned so far away is because I also want it to go off of the background to make the background go a little darker, which is also why the key light is turned a bit, because I wanted to keep it off the background. You could flag it and stuff, but I really didn't have a lot of tools with me. And thanks to Dana for supplying these photos, since I kind of stupidly didn't film this, kind of like the whole darkroom thing in Williamsport. I've got to break that habit. And with that, I really was off. Back to Texas. It was kind of an eventful and difficult trip, so I really didn't wind up shooting much. But it was a lot of fun to hang out with Dana for real and to meet her family. And then after a little sightseeing and landscape, I got home and started working on edits, which I am continuing to do. And also, I couldn't turn down the opportunity to just shoot more photos. Here's a quick look at a session with Alexis I did just a couple days ago. Because, what's time off? I started with a flash, but decided to ditch it because, as you can see in this scene, right there, the sun is actually setting, and then the light got really nice just as I had got it set up a bit, so I ditched it, and we shot natural light, which I think actually turned out pretty well. Just because I can't leave it alone, I shot with Maddie also. I took a bunch of photos with her in the studio. We've worked together a ton, and this is what's great about working with someone a lot, that we hit the ground running and got just a ton of great photos, and you'll see a couple at the end of this. But it was a lot of fun. We shot some in front of the seamless. This is white seamless, by the way, with a lot of light off of it, and it goes gray, as you see. Pretty wonderful trick. You can make it go black if you have enough room. As you may have seen, this is my 50th episode. I started about 1 year ago on YouTube, and I'd been playing with it for a few months before that, just thinking about if I should even bother or what I should do and how I could do it and if I could do it. And I've had a lot of ups and downs, but overall I'm very happy with where things are going. I could live with it going a little faster, I guess, but that's always the case, right? I hope you've gotten something out of it. It's actually been fun because multiple people, including non-photographers, have told me about watching my channel and my videos and really enjoying the content. And some photographers have even told me that they have gained confidence to try portraits just by watching my videos. And that's kind of what I like to try to instill in my subjects as well. And thanks for watching this 50th episode. I'm so excited to keep trying and doing better, and I'm marching toward 500 subscribers. So if you'd like to be a subscriber and you like these videos and you want to see more, please hit subscribe, turn on notifications. And I'm actually going to New Mexico. So the next one you'll see me from New Mexico, and hopefully I'll have a lot of fun. Got some neat plans there. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.